What's up, guys? I'm just kind of waiting for some more people to come in here. Just gonna be basically hanging out. I'm not gonna do anything special. I'm just gonna be answering questions on the MPC and getting over that beat block. What's up, Sean? Man, thanks for coming in. How you doing, bro? I know things have been crazy. I'm glad that you got that working. I'm just gonna kind of chill out today and see if anybody has any questions on the MPC or anything like that. I've noticed a lot on Aquafocus. How you doing, bro? Uh, Thanks for watching. Yeah, I'm just, not every day when you sit down and you play on your MPC, um, not every day, no matter how much gear you have, are you gonna get a perfect beat every single time, right? So I'm just kind of going over that. Really? Alright, cool. Well, I appreciate that. Maybe fix that. That should be legit, right? A little better. Probably not. Anyway, like I was saying, man, when you guys get into the MPC, and yeah, it is a bit intimidating whenever you get into it, but um, to get over that beat block, I've read a lot of on Facebook where people are like, man, I've just had to, and it's happened to me too, where whenever you're trying to lock in and you got all the time in the day, and it's like nothing's coming out, right? So a lot of time, what I do, I just take a song that I already did and I just wipe the drums completely out. Hey, thanks, Sean. I take the drums completely out of the whole thing, and then you can just resample your own work. That's just one way that I found that was kind of easy to, because you should be able to take one album and take 5 little rows off of that album, off an LP, and make a whole different album out of it once you flip and reverse everything, and it gives you a good taste for it to be the same record on top of that. But yeah, I was kind of, if you guys have any questions or any of that, Gil, how you doing, bro? Just let me know. And there's a few workarounds that I've had. I really, really like the MPC software that came with it, but I'm strictly going standalone. I don't like to use the software, but I like some of my plugins that I got. So I'm kind of in a pickle there. Other than that, um, I don't like the way that you can export. You can do the AIFF to Ableton and remix your stuff in there, but you can do that in any DAW. You can do it in Logic or Fruity Loops or whatever. You just export your audio track. So I don't know why. I don't really know why they're focusing on, just Ableton like that. But whatever, you know what I mean. It's all good. But like I said, if anybody's new to the channel here, I'm just kind of chilling out. I might even play some stuff. Just going over some thoughts and things. If you guys have anything to share, just type it in. I'm here for a little while. I'm not going anywhere. I got my water, I got a coffee, and I do have my synthesizers. The new Isla 2400. Well, what is that? But I'll tell you right now, the MPC Live, if you need to watch any good videos on it, there's a guy named, I'll type it in here, this way you can look him up on YouTube. His name's Matthew Stratton. And he's got a ton of videos on there that he'll show you a lot of good stuff, yeah. How can I stop my 808s from bleeding into the next loop? You would set them for mono, because right now you probably have your drum set as Poli. So you'll go to Program Edit and hit your sample and turn it to mono. I hope that, if that helps. You know, if I try to zoom in on mine right now, I'm set up with a janky camera, bro, so it isn't gonna zoom in on the screen. But that's EMU SP1200. You know, I have heard about that, and I know people swear by those, and the SP is nothing, so I almost want to look at that. I'm definitely gonna look at that. As far as making drums and making original sounds, you might want to go with something like that. The MPC Live, it does come with a lot of sounds. You can put your own drums into it, but to actually have the engine that produces those sounds, yeah, it's pretty dope. Yeah, I hope I'm right. I'm just lay low. Yeah, I'm almost certain. I'll even double check that real quick here. Let's just browse. I know it's in a chilled trap kit. Sorry. Alright, so we know the 808's right here. And yeah, it's on polyphony. And you can go to samples. I mean, I just saw it. It was on Poly. So whenever you hit program edit, it takes you to, so you hit that drum. And turn that Poly off. You can have it mute targets too. I turn all mine on mono. This way it cuts off the other pads, so I go like boom, 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 boom. Any regret about the MV88? The only regret that I have is that I didn't really get to put my hands on it. And I know that Behringer, I have a Neutron right here, and I want to get into some of that here in a minute. But if Behringer were to clone an MV, like say 9000 or an 8, the way that they've been cloning these things, man, I would be the first one to let you guys know. What's up, Rec? How you doing, bro? We're talking about the MV88 and just about anything else that comes to mind, music stuff. And excuse me, but what I really want to get on about the MPC X, because I had the MPC Live. I love the MPC Live, and Akai would send me an MPC Live, because I can't just go and buy another one after it's no good. No bueno for my pocket, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I would make 1,000 videos on it, because it's the same workhorse as this, but in the back I have CVs, and that's these little things. And what's really dope is that every single synthesizer that I got the Korg Minilogue, and it's got sync in and out. So when I go out of like the Behringer into here, it triggers it. They communicate together. So I'm learning about different modules and stuff like that, and pretty much making my own synthesizer, because I have 3 oscillators over there, 2 here, 2 more here, and this thing's just crazy. And I cut the keys off of it. It was a Minilogue, now it's a miniature log, which is hilarious because they actually took the their new model. It comes all black and everything. Came out shortly after I ripped this thing in half. But the way that I use all this stuff, you guys want to hear something real quick, it won't be too loud. I have one keyboard playing a piano noise that's real light. And then I have my Moog. It's got a real reverb is not, it's just not right. Alright, so when I hit that, it goes into the Behringer, which goes into here. So when I hit all the keys at the same time, I'm making my own sound. So what I'm saying, man, is like, go and check out other people, you know what I mean? Don't be ashamed to go and say, like, if you type in MPC on YouTube, you're going to find Tube Digger, you're going to find Matthew Stratton, MPC Heads. Dude, there's so many people on there. I Will Create will be on there. He's got a mad setup, dude. And even Mr. Pirate Brain, all the guys on there, man. There's almost everybody on the channel that's been subscribed to this channel has an MPC of some sort. And I mean, just go in there and type in, and you don't have to be very specific about the questions either. Just type in MPC Step Edit, MPC Browse, MPC Sampler, and it'll pop up all the videos, man. I just want to point you in the right direction, because learning this thing can be very, very, it can be a struggle, man. And just let you know, if you need anything, you know, just hit me up on here, or you can send me an email to this email here. And, you know, I'll send you a link back and with a video if you don't want me to put it on here or whatever. So, yeah, definitely check out some of the other producers that are online. I'm not too big into resampling, okay? But what I'm saying is that whenever you have a song and you have all of your drums going and everything like that, and your song's done, man, it's so easy. And I notice that a lot of people are stuck with an 8-bar, you know, and I really want to, I mean, this is so easy that I can just show you this real quick. Like, I'm just going to load up a sound here, or load up a whole program that I have, and it's an incomplete song, just like 90% of the songs that are on most of our MPCs. This splice error, I'm just pointing this out because I do have a good connection in the Akai community where they're looking for different bugs and stuff like this. So if you guys have any problems with this, sometimes I try to sample audio from my phone, but the audio quality is bad. It's a setting thing. Honestly, and I have a video that I sampled off of my cell phone, and I ran into that same issue. I was using this, it doesn't have a headphone jack, so yeah, it was pretty bad. I ended up going just regular headphone jack out, and you gotta have one of these headphones with an adapter, and it goes right into the back of the MPC, and you should be straight. Almost ripped out my freaking ear. But yeah, that'll do it, man. Right into the back. But yeah, the splice thing, when I turn it on, anytime I turn on my MPC, it does that. And here comes the whole, let's look at, let's just load this song. And, you know, I did make a video where my VIP stopped working. You know, these are just some bugs that have been coming out in the 2.6, you know. Yeah, when you name pads or initial patches, like if I go to initial patch in one of those synthesizers, you know, baseline or whatnot, and I save it, and I open it back up, the sound's there, but the name's gone, so it's just a little few things here and there. I know 2.3 was solid, so they just took the code from 2.3 and put it back in here. That would be legit. So check this out. We're going to see what we got. Okay, whatever. So we got 7 tracks as one sequence, and there's no song. So you hit shift song, like in my last video I showed shift song and insert, insert, insert. But you don't even have to do that. You just go here, copy your sequence. You can do it right there. It's real fast. Copy to 4. Now we got 4 different variations of that sequence. So now you hit track mute. In sequence 1, we just want that. Sequence 2, we'll take that without even listening, because you know what? Half the music you hear on the radio is by accident. You know what I'm saying? So without even hearing, you heard that little BS little loop. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we got 4 different sequences, and now I'm going to hit that shift song, insert those 4 sequences, just so I don't have to convert them, because the convert is just busted on this thing since it's 2.6. So this is a good workaround on that. Alright, so now we're going to go like this and hit play, and we got the whole song. It ain't going to be much of a song, but I'm just showing you how fast it was to take that non-finished product, and hopefully I should have done a 4-bar beat, but it's an 8. So, and all I did was wipe the drums, so if I want to, I want to resample that. And don't sample it in time. Do an uneven sample. I see a lot of people going like, and it just sounds the same way after you break it on the pad. So just make them uneven. Okay, so now we got something. Know what I mean? It just, that was that fast that you could just make a song on there, guys. So, and again, anybody that's just now tuning in, if you have any questions on the MPC, I'm just kind of like hanging out today. I really need a studio session, and it's really nice to be able to do video editing and everything like that. But, my goodness, you know, I just needed to get on here and just go today, man. And you know what? The new YouTube setup, I know a lot of people use it, but, and it looks really legit, man. You can really do a lot of stuff before you couldn't edit the screen. Like right now, I could go private or anything like that. All from one screen, I can read my comments. So big thumbs up to the YouTube for doing that. And, yeah, so, I mean, it was that easy. And all you have to do is, once you have your sample, leave the beat per minute and everything like that, and just throw the drums back in and sequence out your drums. A lot of people don't, you know, I've noticed that some people try to hit the pencil and they'll double the length of their sequence, and it'll be like freaking so many bars. How hard is it to do vocals on the live? I mean, if you plug a guitar or just the workflow, like for a whole song, like say for this one right here, okay, I got my first bar was that whatever, it's different each sequence, right? So now if I go down here to my last sequence and convert that to 5, I should be able to clear this, insert sequence 5, and I'll tell you why. Yeah, I did overwrite sequence 1. That's the bug. But anyway, now we got 32 bars on sequence 1, and it's that whole song that I made. You know what I'm saying? I hope that helps. So what you can do now is you can just lay 32 bars, hit play, and then go over it. I do have a video on setting markers, which is really, really cool, because on the MPC and the MPC Live, you can use a foot pedal. You can't do that on the Force. You can use a foot pedal, and when you click it, I mean, you're ready to go, play guitar or whatever it is. So if you know somebody wants to play 32 bars of different type of guitar, then do that. And it's not really that hard, and you really do not need a preamp. I took my MPC Live to Delaware, Florida whenever it first came out, and I mean, that was the only thing I packed in my bag, man. And the only reason I got rid of it was so I could save enough to get to the X. So, but yeah, I regret it every day. I really do love the MPC Live, and if somebody could offer me 3 or 4 Forces, and I would take one MPC Live over an Akai Force, or 4 of them, honestly. But so I'm sitting there in Delaware, and I noticed a storm coming up, and I've never been that far. So I like ran and grabbed the MPC, and I ran outside, and I hit the record button with a microphone. It was no joke, dude. Just a basic karaoke mic. The one that comes off a little karaoke. It had an on switch and everything. It wasn't supposed to work that great, but it worked great. And what happened was, you couldn't see any of the sound. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, you couldn't, like, when you went to the sample and you hit, like, you could hit sample edit, and you can kind of see this little wave over here, but over here is like a little line, right? Dude, I couldn't see nothing, so I'm like, I hit normalize on that thing, and then all of a sudden that line just went like, boom. It just multiplied. I mean, it normalized it, man, and I tell you what, the sound quality was on it, dude. It was really, really good. And as far as turntables and stuff like that for the Live, I would just plug the 2 RCAs into a big to little and just pop that thing right into the back, and you don't need none of that preamps or anything like that. But like I said, on the MPC X, it's got all the spaghetti stuff, man. It's got to where you can plug all these little CV wires. The only one that doesn't have CV out, but I'm controlling everything MIDI, so when I hit this, it's the Behringer. Oh, I have both Live and the X? Yeah, man. Because they can pretty much, I mean, because you can always have the Live with you. I could tell you a million reasons, and they would all be why yes. None would be no. You might have an idea out somewhere, you know what I mean? Throw it in a bag, come downstairs and pop that card into here and just master it. Because a lot of people don't think you can do mastering and mixing in the MPC, and you're wrong. And you know, I want to get over, like, well, the song didn't sound that great, and your songs are this and that. It's like, yeah, well, you gotta put your music out, man. It's not like that people only have so much music that they can listen to. You know, it's about how much you get listened to. So the more music you got out there, the better chance you got of, earning a few pennies here and there, and then they add up. So my point is, when you register your music and you do it the right way, and you get a check for $300 because somebody used a piece of your song, you're like, a piece of my song? Right off the bat, you're like, $300, okay, what, a piece of my song? I want to see, like, immediately, I was more excited to see what they were using it on, right? And it was off a series called Fresh Off the Boat. It was on, like, Netflix, or it was on Netflix or something like that. Looks like I'm getting that tomorrow. Central London? Man, that sounds cool, man. Definitely, if you need any help on that, man, just because setting it up can be really, it's time consuming. You won't do it right the first time. But I got a video on how to properly download and install the stuff. If not, I know you can always look up Matt's stuff too. He's got good stuff. Let me put up these other guys here. You want to check out these guys' channel. Because, everybody learns different, and I've watched, and chances are they're watching it here too. Oh man, I missed a phone call. Ew, doctor. This guy asked, why is the Akai Force better than the Electron Octorack? I don't remember really saying it was, but the Octorack would be more for like actually making drums. The MPC comes with a whole bunch of drums in it that probably could have been made by the Octorack and then put in there. So if you're into just creating drums, that might be something for you. But you can stack drums in the MPC. Like, you can take and go to browse, and all those sounds that you're trying to make are already in here, and you just type in kick, and all the kick sounds come up, and you grab 4 and you just stack them and adjust them, equalize them. You can make any sound that you hear. You don't have to sample it anymore, you know what I mean? Sorry, I'm trying to get on here real quick. Man, Martin, that's really, really cool. Hey, Serrano, man, thank you. I'll take it easy, bro. I hope you're doing good. Just kind of answering some questions and hanging out here right now. Beating that beat block. That's a good way to, just take a song, wipe out the drums, play it, resample it, and lay your drums back on it. Do it 2 or 3 times. Take the whole thing, sample it, and then reverse it, and then resample that. There's just so many ways that you can. I can't believe I missed that phone call. I'm trying to get on here so I can point you guys in the right direction, alright? Give me 1 second. I know everybody's busy, but man, if you got beat block, man, this really might help. There's a lot of good Facebook groups out there, and I'm sure a lot of us are already watching. They got the MPC Gang, MPC, Akai Live, Standalone, MPC software users. You can definitely check them out. But, let me see. Yeah, John Sight, man. He was a dude, back in the day. I saw him make oh man, dude. Wish I didn't have to sell my live. I hear you, man. I wish I didn't have to sell mine either. But I want to be able to control all this stuff, I want to get into a modular rack, man, but the way that I got it set up right now, I almost am like sitting in one. I need... Martin, you getting the X and the Live? Man, that is... You're on a mission, man. What's cool is, you can talk to them wirelessly together. Like, no, nothing. You just hit link and they'll talk to each other, so you can have a beat going on one, and then you really only need one going, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's dope. That is awesome. Oh, man. Dude, there's just so many people. You got Drake Olston, Henry, Realford, Easton Martin, the Goo Man. Yeah, good people, man. There's tons of help out there. It's just when you type in on YouTube, just go and keep on looking, dude. You just don't give up on it. It's really easy. Can't believe it, man. You're getting the Live and the X. You know what? I'm actually relieved that you didn't say that you was getting the Force and the Live, because, yeah, I think you did the right thing. It can't work. Or set it up. Oh, man. What do you mean? Like, whenever you turn it on, it powers up and everything, and it should have sounds in it and everything whenever, like, dude, for real, like, if you take your MPC and just turn it on and hit browse, it should have all your sounds there. I could have you make a song in 10-15 minutes, man. It's not too bad. And please, guys, if anybody here sees somebody on here that needs, help or anything, and I don't happen to be on here or something, just, I encourage everybody to get to know each other, man, because it's not easy setting up the software and everything like that the first time, man. It took me almost a whole day, and then I tried to use my plugins and which ones were freaking compatible with 32-bit or 64-bit. You can just try it with no turntable, no speakers, no mixer, just headphone. Yeah, man. Go get it. Go open that. Martin, go open that. Go get it. Turn it on, man. You gotta turn it on and hit, dude. Man, I tell you, before you do it, just Big Will, what's up, man? Before you turn it on, maybe you want to get a MIDI keyboard or something like that. I don't know, but you should be able to just turn it on in 15 minutes, be able to make a nice little jam, man. That's crazy. One thing I did notice, though, is that and it's been brought to my attention a few times, was that pad perform mode. When you got it MIDI out, it isn't like you can hit one key on the keyboard and it plays the chords. You know what I'm saying? You gotta only hit them on the pad. So it kind of threw me through a loop after somebody told me that. 2000 XL. Dude, I had an XL. That XL has got a really nice sound to it. And what's really, really dope is that under the effects here, it's somewhere. It's a plugin on here. Wish you guys could help me out. It is a plugin on your effects. Vintage effects. Right here, I got MPC 3000 and all the sounds. Yeah, I hear you, man. Ooh. You got the MPC 60 the SP1200 ring, the SP1200. Oh, dude, I thought they had, I could have swore they had 2000 on here. Yeah, dude, please, anytime. And like I said, I got my email up there at the top of the thing. It's Poli1011@hotmail.com. Or, you know, you can leave me a message on here. I mean, I'll answer pretty quick. But, yeah, this thing is built in with some of these effects and everything. And what I see a lot of people do is they go and they hit browse and they go to their drums and instruments. And they're like, okay, cool. But you want to hit this little MPC button right there. And if you got a USB stick or anything like that, it's got places. It's really nice, man. I'm just... Right now, I'm working with going 8 audio out. What's the correct way? Hang on. The correct way to chop a sample. How do you flip it, put a vibe onto it? Honestly, like I was telling somebody earlier, we were talking about beat block. And, you know, if you have a song, basically just hit sampler, and I got mine set for 3 minutes, so I can sample up to 3 minutes, right? And basically I'm gonna hit play on the thing and chop these up in just random, you know, uneven samples, because you don't want them to be like, because then it just sounds real robotic and everything. Like, just let it play and get, you know, 16 samples out of it in like 3 minutes or whatnot. You can adjust them however you want and add effects to each pad. Okay? You can, okay, so we're and now we got that. So let's say if I sampled somebody or a whole record or anything like that with no drums on it. Now I don't want no drums because I'm gonna put my own drums on it. I will. I can even take those drums out. You know, you sample and you take the drums out. But we're just looking for clean, you know, like. And whenever you get the sample going, what I do to practice this, when I have the sample going, I, you know, just play a key along with it on the keyboard, or I'll even go on YouTube and listen to somebody. You know, you can hit the rewind button, and you like that bass noise or anything, just kind of jam along with them, and then you can kind of incorporate that sample to it, or play a melody and then just kind of barely put that sample, as long as it's in there. And there's a lot of ways to flip a sample, but that's kind of the way I would do it. I would wrap my own instruments around the sample itself, but a lot of people just like to take the regular sample and chop it up and then, you know, hey. But dude, that's just, I like to put a little bit more into that, where I can put my feeling of stuff on top of theirs too. I don't know what that was, but I'm not gonna look. 1 second here. Got a good question here. So Big Will, I hope that helped. You hit arm, so you hit play and then arm, and it'll play whatever you're playing. You just hit resample left and right and just chop them up. Save it to a program, and then start off with, you know, what you heard off of there. By the time you sample it, you should have something to where you can feel, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but you should have a nice little melody or an idea how to fill out the pads with your sample. And then I like to wrap all my stuff up in keyboards and guitars and stuff like that. The best route, this is from Laylo. What's the best route to take to get my beats copyrighted? You go ASCAP ASCAP and BMI. You have to register through ASCAP and BMI. So let me get back to the story that I was saying, because this is exactly what I did. Because I wanted to see how it worked. I'm like, how do you make money off of that? I'm thinking, tell you what, I made $30 off of just streaming stuff. And it was a song that I just put out there. I was like, not even great, you know what I mean? It's probably on one of my links from like 2011 or something like that. And yeah, I got some hits and everything like that. I had Epidemic Sounds get a hold of me. And but yeah, it's all because I registered through ASCAP and BMI. I was on that fresh off the boat, and when I went to go see where my song was, because I was excited, I want to see where my song went in on it, and it happened to be, long story short, the dad was talking to his kid about like birds and bees and stuff like that, and it was fresh off the boat. It was Oriental, like, Blackish, I guess, if you've ever seen that. It's just a funny show. And I'm listening, and I'm like, not even 30 seconds. Not even 30 seconds. And it was just like a little light drum piece of music that was like, what was that? It was like background music, right? So when I saw the check for $300, I'm like, because of BMI and ASCAP, they, you put your songs through there and they'll run that algorithm. It sounds like anybody else's music. It's just like iTunes, man. Those ones and zeros, they all kind of, they'll tell the computer, nah, dude, this is not somebody else's. He remixed this, or that's why I can't get over just taking the sample and then just using it. It's like, dude, change it up, remake that noise. So I'm really big into sound production. That's why I'm like, it's like, man, I've heard the song a million different ways, but they never change the pitch of the sample. They never change anything. It's just, yeah, you grab the sample, but do some work with it. But yeah, ASCAP and BMI, for sure. And then I would hit up DistroKid, because it's like $10 a month. Here. DistroKid, because I don't know, it was like I don't know how much it was. It wasn't much money, but say if you have a YouTube channel or something like that, and you put your song, or if you know somebody who has a YouTube channel and you give them, your song to where they can use on their video, DistroKid will monetize that. They will give you your money. I use Songcast. I'm like grandfathered into a cheaper rate. I'm at like $3.99 or whatever. It's like $8. But these guys will put you on. DistroKid will too. DistroKid will put you on Pandora, Spotify, iTunes, you name it. And there's like 20 platforms. That's why I say you really got to pump out some music, and this can really help you to do that. Well, okay, Lalo, to get Fruity Loops plugins, VSTs to work with your MPC Live, you're going to have to be in controller mode. It will not work in standalone mode. That's the first thing. Yeah, UKPRS Performing Rights Society. Right on, bro, man. I appreciate that. I forget that a lot of you are way far away. But yeah, thank you. Good looking out. But to get that Fruity Loops going in there, whenever you're in your computer, and on the top left of your screen, it's gonna say File, Edit. You need to hit Edit, and then scroll down, hit Preferences, and under Preferences, it'll say Plugins and VSTs. You hit Plugins, VSTs, and then the screen will go like C/program files, blah blah blah. And the problem is when I installed my Fruity Loops, I installed the 32-bit, and the 64 bits with the 2-bit. Just do this. instead of C/programs, just do C/. This way it searches your whole C drive for any plugins you have. If you have complete will pop up. Likewise, and then you hit scan new. Make sure the box is checked by /C. If you have 2 drives or stuff's like me, I just search my C and D drive. Not C/program file / anything, I just put /C. And it picked it up. And then you open up your MPC software and go to your plugins, it's in the software. So you can open up Fruity Loops in your MPC software. Or you go to Fruity Loops. Okay, you got the first one now. You can either open it in the MPC software like that, by going to the dots and edit preferences and blah blah blah, and you'll be able to use, I believe, 8 instances of Fruity Loops. So you'll have to have like new track, new plugin, Fruity Loops, new plugin, Fruity Loops, new plugin, Fruity Loops. It takes a toll on your computer, but you can do it that way. Now, as far as using individual plugins from Fruity Loops, what you would want to do, or if you're familiar with Fruity Loops, I like it the way that I just said it, because I can hit next track and on Fruity Loops, or I can scroll my wheel and I can see it actually move. It acts like the control for Fruity Loops for the fire, where you can actually move stuff around with the screen. It's pretty dope. But it is also very beneficial to do the same thing in Fruity Loops, where you go to edit preferences and then scan for the MPC, because you can open the MPC in Fruity Loops as a plugin. You know what I'm saying? So you have Fruity Loops as your main DAW, and then one of those little buttons on there, like kick, snare, hi-hat, it'll say MPC. You click on the MPC and all the software will pop up and everything. So where you can play your song inside of Fruity Loops, sequence it out and everything, and then finish your work on Fruity Loops. So it's kind of dope. So there's 2 different ways you can do that. But like I say, I prefer controlling everything with my MPC. So, I mean, like if you have 7 tracks in Fruity or in your MPC, and you open up Fruity Loops and you put 7 tracks and you go to track 2, it goes to track 2, and you can see it recording on the Fruity Loops software. So it's really, really cool. My computer isn't really that powerful to be doing that kind of stuff. But again, if you guys are just now tuning in, I really, I've come a long way here. I really like the new platform that YouTube's provided. And like I say, you guys, to do that beat block, man, it's a lot to do. Like, me personally, I don't like to sample. I don't like to sample, okay? I like to listen to music, and I get inspired by it. And, but whenever I play something and I add drums to it and I stretch it out and it's a good 3 minutes or whatever like that, I just showed you guys how to make a song like in not even 2 minutes. And, just wipe the drums out, resample it, take that sample and flip it backwards, man. Do something with it. But like I say, I just hear the same thing on the radio and stuff, and it's like, what is a good beat? Well, when you register your song with ASCAP and BMI and go through DistroKid and all that, you're definitely going to get paid when someone hears your music. And what is a bad beat? Because I didn't even recognize that beat was mine. But sure enough, the numbers matched up and everything like that, with like paperwork and everything like that. I'm like, you guys sure? Dallas in Modular. Man, I was talking to This guy's freaking crazy, man. A lot of crazy people on YouTube, and I mean like in a good way, like a YouTube good way. All right, let's see what we got. I think his name's the Snipe Master or Snipe Chapter. Let's see. Dude's all modular. The Snipe Catcher. The Snipe Catcher. Yeah, dude, he's got modular stuff. I actually reached out to him yesterday, and I was like, dude, well, I forgot the name of it, Pittsburgh Modular or anything like that. I don't know what his name is, bro. To sound it out. But that's what this is dope, dude, because it's got, I'm learning about all that. So what's really cool is he said the MPC X would be like the ultimate Eurorack controller. Because it's got those 8 outs in the back, and I've yet to be able to utilize them. I mean, I've plugged them into the MOOG and stuff like that, but not as much as I'd like to. Yeah, I'm going to take like a 2 seconds, maybe 2 minute break. I'm going to play something real quick and take a drink of water. But if you guys have any questions or anything, just see what we got. I'm freaking drinking coffee for the last couple of days and Red Bulls, and I'm like, man, I feel shaky. That's 4 different synthesizers going off at the same time to make that noise. And I still have 2 oscillators that are open. So I could really go to town and make that really fat. And I like to do that. I really liked my VIP software, and after like the 2.5 update or 2.4, I wasn't able to use it anymore. I could just straight up won't load up on my stuff. And the reason I liked it is because I could take all those sounds from the Loom hybrid and all that, and I could just stack them. And what was really cool is with the MPC, the Q-Links jived. Everything was beautiful, man. For some reason, I think I need to install that. Oh man, yeah, the Erica Synth System 2. Hey, right on. I was hoping that came out pretty good. I'm using a bunch of different. The Neutron's really, really touchy, but it does have some software out now. It's pretty cool. You know, you can kind of see more or less what you're doing, and I'm learning this one a little bit more because I have my piano noise actually going through here, so I can cross mod it a little bit so it sounds a little fuzzy. Then, you know, try to go in through like a guitar effects processor or something like that. I just like to make a bunch of different noises. But so and that's another big thing, you know, is the sounds that are inside the box. You know, after a while, you know, that piano, you might need to upgrade your sound. So if you guys are looking for sound packs and stuff, definitely hit me up, because I'm all about making some project archives. I know a few people that are looking for artists and stuff. Like, I have so many songs on here, and like I said, do I still use my Force? Absolutely not. No, I don't. I don't even know. And it's not for any in particular reason. I just thought it was a little I guess, redundant, or it did the same thing that the X would or that the Live would, you know what I mean? But um, I don't think anything can replace my MPC X or the Akai Live at that. I mean, it was really, really cool. The sounds were great. The workflow was cool. It was very fast. I'm not knocking it, but it just wasn't for me at all. No, I didn't actually. That was a gift. Um, and it's legit, dude. Like it's thick. It came in a scroll. Like the boxes in, you know what? Ow. Yeah, dude, it was sick. It came in this like got a little Chinese written on there. Came in there and it was like all wrapped up. It was really, really, really cool, man. Thanks for pointing that out. How we do? How do we get you on Instagram? I think if you go to like my page on, has like got a picture of me in a little ball or something like that. Thank you, Joe, man. I appreciate that. But if you click on that little ball with my face on it on the YouTube thing, um, sorry, I'm reading, but it'll take you to my preferences, and on there I have like community, or you can do Instagram on there, or I can tell you my Instagram, which I don't know what it is. So if anybody's got it, what was that? Oh yeah, for sure, man. Um, Focused guy. I understand, bro. In love with Ableton Live. You know what? Um, I'm learning it, and I don't know. I'm like, I guess you have to have plugins with it. Whenever you start, like, it's it's like empty, or I don't know. I didn't get too far in it. I know the tab button flips the screen, man. So I'm hurting right now, but um, and as far as putting like linear recording clips in there, can you? I didn't see. It looks like clips, like clip recording. So I'm definitely gonna dig into that because that's where everybody seems to go, is to this Ableton. So I think that's really, really cool, and that you can export the. And someone was asking me, can you export in 2.6? As ALS? Yes, it's right there. ALS. And what I do, though, I save it as an audio mix down, and I just drop it wherever. I drop it into Fruity Loops or drop it wherever I want. Let's see. Oh, another dude, the Drake King. Damn it, what's his name? Oh, Ficus Beats. That dude's got some good beats too. Uh, I don't mean to leave anybody. We need to watch all of them, because anybody that's putting their effort out to make these videos out there genuinely wants to help, man. It's not easy, and usually. I never said that the Electron was better than the Force. I said that if you're going to use the Electron Octo to maybe make drums to put into the Force, but they're different. It's different. Honestly, I haven't really got into the Octa, so I don't know. But anyway, let me show you this real quick, or play this for you real fast. Because I'm so big into sounds, and like I do, like, I took all the samples off of my black keyboard, and I gave it out. I think a few of you guys have it, and it was like 101 sounds. And now that I'm getting more into sound design like crazy, I want to make a whole bunch of different sample packs. This way, you have a bunch of different sounds that are unique and never heard before. Because with these devices, man, you can't save the sound, but with an MPC, not only you can save it, you can sequence it and do a lot of cool stuff that you really aren't supposed to be able to do with it. But other than that, guys, if you don't have any more questions or anything like that, I really appreciate you. I know last week was a real rough week with my daughter and everything like that. She's back home now. Everything's all good in the hood, man. So recovery is one day at a time. Other than that, I don't know, I might just play something here for a second, because usually after I get done, I'm like, oh, I should have said this or said that. But yeah, let me play this real quick. I just made this sound, and I really, really dialed into it. Like I said, this is the MOOG. Just checking the levels. I don't want it to be too... So if all the keyboards that I have had the keys on that MOOG, it would be really, really cool. The keys on here. They're so buttery. I don't know how to explain it. It almost just rolls off your fingers. But so I got piano noise going in there. And then I got this. And then the Behringer's going like whop, whop, whop. And then this thing here is doing a sidechain. See? So you can hear the piano, the MOOG, that woo, and then the Behringer, that. Now we're gonna bring in the Minilogue. Love the noise, man. It just... And all I gotta do to make a different one... Little cross mod. Initial patches, man, it's just so much fun. So it's almost like being in a Euro rack case. Who do... That's cool. I don't want to change these because I haven't auto-sampled this sound yet. So in order for me to do that, I'm going to have to hit this. But I want it to all be perfect, so... And it wasn't this sound. Love it. Right on, guys. Like I said, if you guys need anything, feel free to leave a comment or anything like that. We're just going over beat block today. and how to beat that. And I think we've gone a long way. I'll show you one more here. I'm gonna go here, new project, in less than, like, because you have a bunch of songs in here that aren't even finished, right? Let's go to this one. I mean, not finished, like you got 8 bars left, right? I mean, you got 8 bars and that's it. And it's like, what do you do after that? Well, I'll show you. So let's go here, track mute. That's no bueno. I mean, all you have to do is just freaking load up a song that has 8 bars. Let's go. Come on. And I do have a song on here that I did sample. Where Big Will, if you're still here, man, I'll show you that one here next. Okay, I'm gonna take these drums out. So yeah, you don't want to sample that, and you only have one sequence, right? So let's make a song out of that real quick, right? You know, you got one sequence. So what we're gonna do is unmute everything, right? It's be real easy. Go to main. We got one sequence. It's 8 bars, and you hit the pencil copy sequence. Do it. Sequence. Do it. Sequence. Do it. Sequence. Do it. Now you got 4 different sequences. See? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now you can go and hit up your track mute. Sequence 1. We just want that. And this. Sequence 2. Those 3. Sequence 3 will lay in the drums. Sequence 4. No, sequence 3 we don't want no drums. We want this as well, because we don't want drums. Let's get some clean different parts now, you know what I'm saying? So now we got 4 different of the same sequence. Shift song. Insert, 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 insert. Sequence 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you hit play. We know it's going to be different, okay? All 4 sequences are going to be different. So we're going to convert this to 5. It's going to overwrite 1 because it's just a bug right now. So we're going to insert 1. Touchy. And it's 32 bars. Because when you hit sampler and you hit play, it's not going to play each sequence like that. It has to be converted into the 32 bars before you can do this. So there was going to be no drums in this. From song, resample left and right. I got 3 minutes. Arm record. I'm going to hit play. Like I said, you don't want to sample them even. You don't want to be like, because then it won't sound right. And I laid some drums in there anyway. That's all going to be on that pad. We're not even going to use it. Okay, chop it out. Whatever, we're going to chop up some drums. might have a different drum rhythm that you get out of it. Why only sample synths and stuff like that? You know, why would you only sample a synthesizer or vocals? Why wouldn't you sample your drums too and get them off beat like that and create your own rolls? So now I got a nice minute-long thing that I can work with. And man, if you can't, and it's original, non-destructive slices, we're going to create it. Name it Theo. Do it. Create. Now we go back to just one. And we should have all of our pads on here. So you can resample that, is what I'm trying to say, and then add in drums, even the same drums, it'll fit the same tempo, you know what I'm saying? So, but as far as like a sampled song, let me see. Dude, Big Will, let me show you here real quick, dude. So I took this, let's see if we can find a sample. It's the Jaggers, right?
You brought sunshine to my sky when there was rain. You brought beauty to a world that was plain.
So, basically, what happened is what I came up with, because I laid a bunch of, like I say, I like to wrap up my sample. I like to have the samples that I added at keyboard. I didn't really use too much of the vocals. That's what I'm saying. I like to see, now you know that's the sample, but all the rest of it, you know. So that's pretty much how I sample. I like to take here's my loop that I used. And that and again, you know, to be able to wrap up a sample and you know, like I said, having a good running back, man, where you got, you know, all these giant guys just surrounding this little guy nobody can see. So it's kind of like the sample. Oh, I'm on YouTube. Say hi. My buddy Chris was asking about my daughter. So. Yeah, man. You know, I thought so too. And like I said, I don't really sample But when I heard that in the sample, by the time I picked those two out, I'm like, it already gave me a little groove, you know, and I've never heard the song before. So if you need something that you've never heard before and that comes with the stock sounds in the MPC, um, and like a project archive, what it is you click it after you download it and it pops up your MPC software with everything that's on here right now. It would save it just like if it was on my computer, but you could take your take on it and yeah, you save it or do whatever you want with it, but it'll be something different. And sometimes you need to hear a different approach on this thing because there's so many ways. I don't know how many years. It's been years, dude, not months. It's been years since I've used this in the MPC Live. So you have to use it every single day. And honestly, I think I've made a video about every button on here except the list edit, and that is just like that blows my mind, dude. I'm not that great in that MIDI stuff. But like I say, I do know I got in contact with Akai, and I do know a lot of good people up there, and we're working together to try to get rid of all these issues. So if you guys have any the sample won't save a name or any complaints whatsoever about 2.4, 2.5, 2.6, you can leave them here in the comment. I won't take it like you guys are beating me up, because that's stuff that I'm going to share with them, okay? And I want you to have the best experience possible while using this. Stupid things like when you hit pad perform. It's just I don't know, sometimes there's buttons that lock up and stuff like that, is all I'm trying to say. It seems like every time they update it, it gets a little worse. But like me, that song mode thing, that really killed me. Because I used to just hit shift song and then insert, or insert and convert my sequences. Now it works the other way, where you gotta hit the pencil, copy your sequences 8 different times, and just randomly mute out different parts. Like I say, there is no bad beat, especially when you register your work, because you don't know who's listening, you don't know who's watching, and you don't know where that song might turn up, man. Look at that Hometown Road song, or Old Town Road, that big old hit with you know what I'm talking about, man. I'm not gonna sing it, but that beat was sold for $40, and that's what I want to go after. It's like that beat was sold for $40, and then on the radio they couldn't even give the artist props. They're like, yeah, some guy sold this beat to them for $40, and it's just like, man, are you gonna be happy with $40 when you just make sure that you there's a lot of nitty gritty stuff that comes along the way, but like I told a guy today, man, I was just like, dude, there's sites out there that will just buy your lyrics, that, you just put your stuff out there. You got to keep putting stuff out there. And like me today, I don't know what, I didn't think, oh, I'm going to come home today and do this and sit down here for an hour or two. But I have to do this every single day, so I enjoy doing it, and if you don't use it, man, you'll lose it. And like I say, just get into editing your sounds, man. Don't just take these stock sounds that are in here and not. What is that? Do you know anyone who is used to use the MPC Live or X with PreSonus Studio 4? And that's its own DAW, I would believe. Studio 4. only issue that I had was whenever I was using certain plugins or anything that I was trying to pull up in my MPC, I had to install it 64-bit in order for it to work. And I had it installed 32-bit at the time, so that was my only issue. And then I was able to get Complete to work with it and everything else. But yeah, you would just go to your top left of your software screen and hit Edit Preferences, scan your C drive, not C program, just scan the C drive, and it'll pick it up, and then it should be in your plugins, I believe, unless you're trying to use it the vice versa way, where you go to PreSonus Studio 4 and open your MPC in that software, which a lot of people do that in Fruity Loops too. But I'm not too familiar with PreSonus Studio, but that's how you would do it. And if not, you could just drag and drop your audio tracks right into it, I'm sure. But I wish I could be a little more help on that one. I'm really not. That's the best I could answer on that one. But yeah, I've used so much stuff, and I think finally I'm at a good point where I'm understanding what different parts do what. But, you know, yeah, you're probably going to end up getting something else. That modular rack thing is awesome. The way I see it would be like having an MPC live. But I love being able to make my own sounds and everything. But like I said, I have so many oscillators going on right now and different things that I can plug in, and so I just need to start plugging things in and making patches. And let me see here. Gil, how do you set your pads? Honestly, it's got that full level, half level on there, and that's it. That's all that I know of for sensitivity. There's no, like, you can't like scroll down and be like 10% or 12% on this pad. And it's for all the pads. Like, you can't have this pad full level, this pad. It's all full level or half level, but most of it's just touch. The harder you hit it, the harder it is. And after a while of playing the pads, you can really, they're good pads, you know what I'm saying? They're not plasticky. They're not plasticky at all. They're nice and squishy. So when you hit the pad like that, or if you want, go to your channel mixer after you play your pad, and then hit pad mixer, and it'll show you every single pad that you have. So any noise that's coming out of any of these, then you can adjust them after the fact. But if you're trying to do it live, yeah, you just have to do the half level or full level on that one. So it's kind of, I know, man, I want to really get into, how long have I been doing music? Well, I kind of just, I've always kind of dabbled around in music. My first instrument was a keyboard, and sorry, I'm getting a lot of comments here. Yeah, and then I just played by ear at that point. Like, I would listen to like Beverly Hills Cop and Top Gun and stuff like that. And for like my second grade talent show, I did it behind my back, you know, and I just always liked it. I don't know, it was some power coming out of the wall, turning something on, and it making noise. I don't know, it was just satisfying to me, and I just always liked doing it. It's a good way to express myself. So I'd say solid, let's see, actually making music and having fun with it. I mean, all my life, man, about 20 years or so, I'd say. I've had all the MPCs, if that helps, you know what I'm saying. Let me see. How do you set your pads, threshold, and sensitivity? How long have you... Okay. Can't wait until you do modular. I want to do modular. It was a big selling point for sure. I'm just trying to understand everything. I know it spits out 5 volts or something. Like, I just don't want to set anything on fire because it's actually sending out voltage, which is insane. Shazam, dude, man, what is up, man? It's been a while, dude. Good to see you, man. Did they implement program replace yet? Or do you still have to go back to main window and select new program? Yeah, you gotta... I'm definitely gonna write that one down, though, because I need to let them know about all the different features and requests that people want, man. So, that's definitely one that will be on the list. I'm actually gonna copy it and paste that bad boy right now, because I've been able to get a hold of Akai. Cool, I copied that, Shazam, because right now, yeah, you have to go back to main menu and select new program that you loaded. Hardware setting 1 through 16. I don't understand. Or 16 levels? I'm not sure. Larry, man, how are you? It's good to see you, man. I'm glad you tuned in. I had a crazy week, and, you know, usually I like to record my videos and do a little bit of editing and stuff, but I just needed to get on here and do this today. Man, everything is chillin'. I definitely wrote that down, this way I can send it to Akai. I got a list of stuff, dude, that different requests and stuff like that. So if anybody's having any like pads, 1 to 16 pads. Sorry, man. How do you set the pads threshold and sensitivity? 1 to 16. Man, Larry, I appreciate that. My daughter's doing good. She's actually back upstairs. It was a crazy mess, man. She had, guys, if you don't know, you know, you guys are like family to me. So she had a little case of scoliosis, and it was just crazy, dude. They ended up having like a brain surgery, and she is a beast, and she's upstairs, and she is not happy. But she's okay. She's chilling and eating and doing everything a good girl's supposed to do. So she was sick, so it was really freaky. I think it was more hard for the separation anxiety and everything. Yeah. 1 to 16, the hardware setting. Hardware setting 1 to 16 in menu. Oh my god. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. So I'm in menu, and now what? The 16 what? so sorry, man. You just want to reach through the TV and hit me. Oh, man. I don't know what to say. But yeah, no, everything's really, really good with the girl. She had a surgery, and the dude drew from here with a marker all the way up to here. So it's just like, wow, big time surgery, man. It was big time. She was in the hospital for like 4 days. But what laptop do you recommend? Anything with an i7 and plus, 252.5 gigahertz, something with where you can have 2 drives inside of it. Like if you, I mean, a good, can't help her more, forget it. I don't know, man. I don't know what the 16 thing is on there that you're talking about, bro. I'm sorry. Larry, I'll get right onto that. But as far as the laptop, I use an Asus ROG gaming laptop. Honestly, you're going to spend $1,000 on a laptop that a $600 desktop could do. I'm just letting you know. They're not upgradable and all that and blah, 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 blah. But if you want a laptop, get one that has room for another drive. This way you can put another drive inside, solid state. This way you can run your Windows off of it, and it'll turn on faster than your MPC. Gil, I feel so bad that I don't know what you're saying. But I love you, man. I'm sorry. Explain the use of pad perform. Yeah, well, Sid, new to the chat and new to MOOG X. Oh, MPC X. Oh, yeah, dude, and if you need anything, feel free to leave a comment on the bottom. I'll make a video for you, because it's supposed to be fun. And it's, it can be a little intimidating. Like, I don't know what the heck is 1 through 16 hardware setting. Okay, Larry, we're gonna go ahead and do this. Gil, you're killing me. Hang on, I gotta do this for Gil real quick. Preferences, right? Preferences. And then what? 1 through 16? I'm sorry. Alright, let me show you what this pad perform does real quick, okay? What the pad perform does is, let me load up a brand new thing here real quick. So you just turn on your MPC, and you're gonna load up some sounds. Okay, empty project, hit browse. I'm gonna go to instruments. Let's use these strings, okay? Okay, so we're gonna use these strings. And what pad perform does is I can take my note, turn on full level here. I can play it in a natural minor, harmonic minor, pentatonic, your blues. It's got your different blues scales. That's flamenco. That's gypsy. They got Hungarian. They got all the different scales that you could pretty much think of on here, okay? And what's really cool is you can even take the octave. really like that, but for the sake of this, I'm just going to leave it at 1. So now if I want to hit chords, I can play chords with that, okay? So I hit 1 pad, and you know it's D sharp. And it's playing a 1, 3, 5 that would be on a keyboard, so it would be D, G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, just those 3 chords, and it plays a chord for you. So you can add effects and do all kinds of stuff. It's got different progressions, chromatic chords. It's got 1, 3, 5, 7 if you want to do like major, minor sustains and stuff. So it's really, really cool. Okay, hang on, I'm getting there. Preferences, hardware. So the pad perform is really dope. So if you hit notes and you go to progressions, it's got acoustic guitar. It's just dope, and it's a good way to take that and hit note repeat. It's just really, really cool. So that's how I use the pad perform on there. So you basically, don't worry, Gil, I'm gonna get it. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna go up here, I'm gonna hit a menu, preferences, hardware. I see, getting there. Oh yeah, Larry. Let's see. Foot switch, V meter, screen dimming, screen brightness, date, time, time zone. Oh. Why do you like that? Oh, Gil. Man, that is so cool, guys. So, to be able to set the threshold on, or the velocity on the pads, let me see if I can confirm that. Yeah. That is good to know, man. And don't be afraid to get into those preferences and drag the screen around, alright? You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to touch your screen. It's gonna get dirty and whatnot. Because if you sit here and you go down like this, it ain't gonna let you do it. You're gonna need to go like this. And that's exciting. Very, very cool. So, thanks, Gil, for being patient with me. And it's under threshold, yes. Yeah, pad sensitivity, pad threshold, 8 normal. Let's see what the options are. 16 more force. You can go less force, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 8 would be normal. And then from 8 to 16 would be like, you really gotta hit that pad. Okay, so that's really cool. That's the threshold. And let's check the, check the sensitivity. And under pad sensitivities, right underneath it, and you can do the same thing from least, then it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, normal, and then 16 would be the most. So that's really cool, man. I appreciate that, because my workaround has been either hitting the step sequencer and dragging it or something like that, but I want it to sound like the same throughout, and it can be a little touchy, but I use MIDI keyboard, so it's always like it just comes out like that. But if you're playing on the pads, That's a gold mine right there, man. Good looking out. And again, thanks for being patient with me on that. And that's what this is all about, to just be consistent and be there for each other, because I had no idea. So, Gil sets his threshold on 1 and sensitivity to 16. Really? He turned, set the threshold. Yeah, I have mine on 8 and 8. I'm in standalone. I don't know if that makes a difference. 8 and 8 is legit. That's what I'm on right now. But I've never messed with any of this stuff. That's insane. And then underneath that, I noticed that these preferences are important, man. Pad response, the velocity and aftertouch is super cool. Your foot switch and all that stuff down here. VU meter, where you want that. And the date and time, because that's always good, because when you're sending out projects and everything like that, it's going to have your information on it. Yeah, I don't have any problems with that, but I'm definitely I'm making a list of different stuff, so I gotta write that down, and I need to test that and make it happen like 3 or 4 times. This way I can make a video and show them that this is no under 2 for threshold. Let me make a note of this real quick, guys. So that is super interesting, because I like to find things that aren't working and try to make them better, and that's definitely gonna help out. That from Homeboy, that was Big Wheel, and then I'm copying your stuff right now, Gil. That's very interesting. So yeah, the pad perform on there, if you don't know how to play any instruments, I mean, you really don't need to. I just had to copy and paste all that stuff to my document here. Got a lot of stuff to check out, but that pad perform can really put you in the right direction, because I don't know how to play all the chords on my keyboard or anything like that. I mean, I can play them, but I more or less play lead and bass line on my keyboard. I'm not going to play a bunch of chords, because I'm not playing Beethoven or anything like that. I mean, there are some juicy chords out there, and yeah, you can lay them down. But for the music that I'm making, you know, I like to have that different sound. Yeah, you know what's weird is I was messing around with this H1 Zoom, right? And I was going into it, and I didn't push play on anything. And all of a sudden, a song started coming out of the speaker of that. So I was like, what is going on? Like, this thing just started playing, and I didn't even have it on play or nothing. No samples loaded. Yeah, pad performance, an absolute lifesaver for anyone by chance did not learn their scales, regressions, and other theories. Yeah, man, you know, and Andrew, that brings me to my first and second grade teacher. They were like, Paul, you're going to want to learn how to write music. I'm like, I'm going to want to learn how to draw these flags and dots. And if I would have just paid attention, I wouldn't need any of this. You know what I'm saying? This is the only way I know how to do it. I could have a book and just write down my music all day long and hear it in my head. if I knew the sounds that I was making on that piece of paper. And man, I wish I would have done that. Yeah, so I hear you, man. Learning scales, progressions, and all that. Watching other people play, that was a big thing for me. I was like, I don't really listen to the radio that much. I was like, well, how do you know what's out there? And I don't know, man. I listen to the radio, and I'm more into, I want to make music. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to compete or do anything like that. I just love doing this, and I could do it all day long. And I like sharing how to make money doing this on top of that. But definitely, if you have any problems, because I know that whenever you go to an initial patch in like a tube thing or tube base or what it's called, and you name the patch and you make your sound and everything, and you turn off your MPC, turn it back on, it saves the sound, but it doesn't save the name. So that's one other thing, but that's nowhere near as big as the song mode thing after 2.3. Yeah, that crippled me pretty bad. I wasn't able to make a song for a while until I figured out the pencil with the copy sequence thing, and it's just so easy. I mean, I've probably showed it a couple times on here, just how to, like, there's one sequence here, one sequence for 8 bars. You hit the pencil, copy, do it, copy, do it. We're gonna make 4 sequences. Now we got 4 sequences. Hit the track mute. Bam, 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 bam. It's quiet, nothing on the track. You know what I mean? You just mute out all your pads. Sequence 4. Then you go to insert and do song. And audio mix down into your DAW or whatever. I don't think that you need to. I think that you can do the mixing in just your MPC. It's got the cue links and everything that's right there. Me, the reason why I go out, I'm going 8 tracks out into a mixer. This way I can EQ my drums or give them a little more bass or whatnot, just because it's at my fingertips. And you can add the same effects in the MPC. It's just, I like to have it go through other stuff. It gives it a unique sound, and I have a lot of control over it really, really fast. So that's why I do that, and I love it. The MTK mixer, man, you can plug it USB into your computer, and whenever you have like 10 tracks going, and then you explode your 16 drums, and it gives you 26 tracks. Or say you got 22 tracks, and then you hit USB on all these things, you can control everything track by track, your drums, everything through the software in your mixer. So it's dope. It's a true 22 channel return. So a lot of the mixers will say, oh yeah, it's USB return, but it's just 1 or 2 tracks. You know what I'm saying? It's not. And I have to thank Will for that, man, because I would have been lost in the mixing world without that dude. And he actually just bought this banging computer, and I mean, it does everything but spit fire, man. It's pretty insane. Let's see, what else we got? I appreciate you guys, dude, because I've had, like, you don't know what kind of day other people are having, dude, but man, this really helps a lot. And let's see what we got here. Pad performance, I was a percussion, so I should have learned piano movers, but I used to be in marching band. I played the quads, and then I played the xylophone. I was like, I can play by ear. Yeah, the copy sequence thing works, and it's like what I'm saying. They're like, well, you don't put. I've heard people say, well, you don't put no love into your songs and this and that. I was like, yeah, but I put 30 out today. Really? So Sid says that you can see it coming in hot for your mic, but nothing's recording. That's good. Just on your audio track, when you hit audio track, make sure you hit monitor to where it says auto and have your track armed. That'll do it. That'll give you your volume that you need. Do I have anything going in here? Any audio? Nothing? No? Oh, wait. Yeah, see, so what I did, if I hit audio like that, it's just going to go straight, right? Just make sure you have record arm on, because you can see it. You can see it with monitor and with monitor auto. You actually just leave it until you see the signals coming in. And hit that record like that. And make sure that you're getting a signal that your master's up. And you should be good. Now, overproducing music. You know, you can't. Hang on, I'm sorry, I got a lot of stuff coming in here. Larry, about overproducing music. There is nothing, like, that's like saying that I overproduce. I've had people tell me, like, dude, you need to take some of the videos down. And it's like, no, dude, I'm showing my progress throughout my life on this thing. You know, I don't care if the video sucked or not. If one or two people got something out of it, that's cool, and they're just going to get better. And I'm consistent about it, so that's what they know. They know that whenever they come to me, that they're going to get help with an MPC X or something synthesizer. So the more that you put out, it's almost like the louder you scream, the more people can hear you, dude. So flood the market, put it out there, especially if you're paying $10 a month for something where you need to be putting out tracks. And it might sound like 30 tracks in a week might be a lot, but if you sit down and you do the work, I mean, a lot of people are like, let's go and sell some beats and make some money. You gotta put in time too, man. You gotta put in, just like if it was a regular job. Like, from what I did today, I don't even know how long this stream is, but it has to be at least an hour. And I can't expect more than $8 for that, or $9 for that. You know, you can't expect to get $100, you know what I'm saying? But if everybody listens to your song and everybody goes and clicks on your stuff and gives you a thumbs up, because, you know, and we do want a thumbs up because it gets the word out about the MPC, and it helps, you know, people get familiar with it. It's not just because I want you to like my video. What happened? Diesel, what's up, man? We're just hanging out today, dude. It's been a long week, and yeah, I'm just chilling, man. I'm in my happy zone right now, almost stress-free. No, I'm stress-free, man. I was all shook up earlier, getting some comments on my little dragon back there, talking about beat block, pad perform. Yeah, dude, piano lessons would be really, really cool. I don't know. I've already developed bad enough habits on my fingers where I might learn something that'll help, but at this point I just play the way that I do and it feels comfortable. Kind of like making a pizza. After a while, I know how I'm gonna do it. But other than that, guys, we're just chilling here. And if you have any, it's mainly, like, I've got about 5 people that have left me some pretty valuable information about the MPC and that they're having problems with it. And any kind of issues that you're having, you know, I will share with the Akai team, because it is supposed to be fun and stress-free. And whenever you come home and you want to make a beat and something's not there, or your project didn't save, or your project didn't save. But yeah, and the copy sequence thing works a lot. And yeah, overproducing. I'm really. I don't think that you can overproduce. It's like, oh, that guy is constantly putting out music and this and that. But you know what? He's constantly getting paid, and it might not be a lot, but if he doesn't get paid a lot, if he gets paid very little for all those lots, that's good. So more power to him. And that's kind of where I'm at too. I might make like 8 cents off a video or something like that. I don't know, but if I got 500-600 videos out there and people are actually engaging with them and they're getting value out of them, and it, take it this way. I used to play a video game and they had an auction house, and I used to catch these fish that were $200, and I would sell them for 1,000, and it never was okay. Everybody hated that, so I was just like, okay, I'm gonna keep doing that, keep doing that, keep doing that to make some freaking some more money. So I ended up, anytime that I saw on the game that there was a freaking fish for $200, at that point I would just buy it and sell it and make money off of it. And well, to this day, you can go, what do you mean? Overproducing? Yeah, it is. What do you mean it's not what people mean when they're overproducing? You mean like making music more than they should? I'm sorry, I just don't understand. And yeah, that Jupiter XM, that would be really, really cool. Oh, overproducing as into clean, to quantize, to polish. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I was, yeah, sorry, yeah, I definitely didn't understand that earlier. Thanks for clearing that up with me, man. I didn't even know that's what overproducing had anything to pertain to that, but the quantized thing is like auto-tune, man. I mean, if you want to have a natural feel to it, I think everything's in time. Like whenever I was resampling that song earlier, like I was telling the guys not to go like in time with the drum, just get something uneven, and it just feels more natural than being in time all the freaking time. That's what makes a great song, is when someone can go off the path but then meet up right at the end in time. So it does have its advantages for like hi-hats and hip-hop and stuff like that, but I would recommend at least changing the velocity whenever you're doing it on drums, because it can sound a little robotic. Not raw enough. Yeah, I hear you, man. Mm. Ah, yeah. Yeah, if you, that's, a lot of people might get beat blocked because of that. They work so hard, and they're like, man, I got this masterpiece, man. I got 3 masterpieces, and it took me a month. And, and I've done that too. And you put a song out, and it's like, you don't get the reaction you want. And it's just like, dude, you need to spit out beats. A good beat will come, man. It's like a batter swinging a bat. A home run's gonna come as long as you're swinging. And as long as you're in the game, you're gonna get a hit. That's all I can say about that. But yeah, I don't put. I mean, there's some songs out there, that I'm gonna say I have put in some work, but most of the songs that I make, I mean, this is the longest I've been on YouTube since I've been on my channel. And I usually just make my beats right on the spot. I don't pre-do anything. So I don't really add effects. I don't really like to quantize, because if I'm giving a song to an artist that wants to throw vocals over it, he's probably just going to want it nice and clean. And it just makes it a lot easier for me, honestly. So if you're into selling beats and stuff like that, just stock out the effects. Stop with the side chain and stuff like that. Just give them the melody, nice and simple, clean. And they don't want to hear like all that 8 noises coming out. They don't want to hear all that. They just want a nice, clean. They want to be the star. So just keep that in mind. Your beat doesn't even, it sucks, but like the beat that I made money off of through BMI and was on that show, it didn't even sound good. It was a joke. It was a joke. And but I was laughing to the bank, let me tell you. And every time they play it, they monitor it and I get paid through it, so that's cool. They actually stopped playing the show on TV, and then they went to like Netflix and Hulu. And man, what a big difference in price pay you get whenever you're not on TV. If you're on Netflix and Hulu, you get money. But it's all about just putting it out there, because you say if you got so many people making money out there and making music on top of that, trying, and the only way, I think the best way to do it is just keep doing like me. I'm going to be 80 years old and I'm going to be sitting in a studio talking about selling beats and how I've sold beats, and not to individuals, like background music and stuff like that. I think that's legit. Maybe you don't want somebody representing the way that you think, the way that you feel on your keys. Maybe you thought, man, I want that melody to really mean something like that, and then you got some dude just, no, not on my track, not on my track. I'll sing something myself, you know what I mean? That's almost where I'm at, to where I have so many lyrics and stuff like that, but I'm into just making songs. So I really think it's cool that, do I like trap music? Dude, I like any kind of music. I like anything that makes a noise. I mean, I get into it. There's a good part in every genre, I think. So I'm all about listening to just about anything. I like that really old stuff that you hear on those staticky stations and stuff. They're like, is that $100 sample pack or $1 sample pack? How many samples should be in $1 sample pack? I think enough to spread across the whole pads. So if you got 64 samples. So they can 16 level each one if they want. And that's being really nice. I would go for like $5, honestly. But for $1, 64 samples. I mean, I gave away, I still don't know if it's $1 or 100. So one big dollar. What kind of samples you got? My goodness. Oh man, I guess I gotta wrap this up. And again, if you guys have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments, okay? I'll copy them later or paste them, because there will be more updates coming out, and they're not going to stop coming out. And things are going to keep getting better and better on here. And the only way they're going to get better is by critical thinking and constructive criticism. So anything that you guys can think of that this box isn't doing that you want to do, Gil, you're cool, man. Yeah, I do use controller mode. I like controller mode. I really, I think the software is dope, man. That everything that you touch, yeah, that would definitely break into the game. I mean, I gave out 101 samples um, from my Sledge. I was just like, anybody wanted them, I sampled them, I auto sampled them. They came out mono, or else I probably could have sold them for like a good $5 or so. Right on, Gil. Definitely keep in touch, man, and uh, stay blessed, man. We'll see you around. Yes, sir. Other than that, guys, anything that I can do? Um, I'm running out of water. I don't just want to sit here and have nothing to say. I want to be. What is that? Oh yeah, dude. No, I really think the controller mode is like I like the Ableton. Okay, I like the. It looks nice. It looks proper. Okay, it doesn't look all plasticky and toy. Um, but I like the way the MPC software works. It just works really, really well. I don't have a problem with it whatsoever. Um, and I like being able to use my plugins is the only thing. I've had to sample a lot of my sounds. Right on, right on. And I don't know. I guess I'll end this off with a little bit of play something, take a break, and then see if I got any more questions. You know what? I got a good one. Check this out. Just hang on one second. What the heck? Oh no. That wasn't good. MIDI to USB cable, I don't think that's gonna work, bro. Yeah, I don't know, Aqua. To receive sound in the MPC X coming from the MPK, MIDI to USB cable. Mm-mm. I don't know. Doesn't sound good though. too familiar with that MPK. Trying to use Fruity Loop Studio and MPC at the same time, MIDI keyboard without switching the USB cable all the time. Are you using Fruity Loops as the main DAW? Or are you trying to open up MPC in Fruity Loops as like its own little box, or are you trying to open up Fruity Loops in the MPC software? Because if you're trying to use if you open up Fruity Loops and you hit your preferences and scan for new plugins, it'll pick up your MPC, and then you can drag your MPC as like a new track, and when you hit it, it'll open up the MPC software in Fruity Loops. What I do is me personally, I load up my MPC software. You bought a MIDI to USB cable to control the MPC. Yeah, if you plug the blue wire of the MPC into your computer and open up Fruity Loops and then scan for the MPC, you'll be able to use this as a controller. Okay? And that being said, your USB keyboard would just be plugged right into here. Ah, I see. Yeah, that's kind of how I went about it. I didn't want to use mine together either. I just wanted to either make a melody or a sample and then take it from Fruity Loops into my MPC. Oh, guys, let me tell you something real quick, alright? For those of you that don't, you're like, you hear people say that they have beat block and they don't have time. It's like, dude, man, I didn't have time today. I didn't have like this. Check this out, man. And I'm not gonna lie, I got through school this way, and I would do 8 weeks of work in one day, and this is how I did it. This stupid timer. And everybody in my house knows that when this thing's ticking, you don't come down here. When this thing was ticking, and man, it was my time, my go time. I mean, if the house is burning down and it said I had 5 minutes left, just set this thing for 30 minutes, 15 minutes. Yeah, you have to switch to USB. It's gotta be in preferences somewhere to where you don't have to keep taking that thing out like that. I know if I open up my I got so much stuff hooked up in here right now, I don't know what's hooked up to what. I think I have my keyboard hooked up. It's in the back of my MPC X, never mind. Get yourself a timer, guys, and when this thing goes off, stop. Set it for 15 minutes. You'd be amazed what you can do in 15 minutes, man. Set it for half an hour. Don't leave, don't do nothing. Take your drinks, take everything with you. Be like, hey, I got my timer on, this is what I'm doing, and it's gonna be on. And I don't care if God shows up at my front door, do not open my door. And make it a habit. I mean, I got my degree, man, and I hustled. I work 70, 80 hours plus a week, and I hustled, man. I went to school, and this little thing right here, I didn't believe it, but everybody in the house knew that this was like a ticky thing. We put it at the top of the stairs, outside the room, shut the door. That's it. Alright guys, I'm gonna wrap things up because I'm getting a little bit out of ideas, and I got about 5 things that I want to go over. And that sucks with that whole USB cable thing. I don't know why it's doing that. You should be able to go into your MPC X, under preferences, under MIDI, and just select all. And then whenever you open up your Fruity Loops, it should work. And then in your MPC X, it should work. I don't know why you have to unplug your USB cables like that. But right on, guys. I hope everything came out good. I hope the audio was on. I appreciate you guys very much for pointing me in the right direction. We've come a long way. It's been about a year or so, and I appreciate the support. So, again, if you have any questions or anything about the MPC, leave them in here. You have my email address, and yeah, that's about all I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna end this up, and I had a great time, and I'll talk to you guys later. Okay? Take it easy.